Welcome to IFS Industrial Intelligence, Voices of Industry. Stories from the people building the backbone of the world's industries with AI that actually works. Because with industries that never stop, neither do we. Each episode features IFS experts who worked on the front lines of industry in manufacturing plants, energy grids, aircraft hangars, and construction sites. They bring real-world experience to the conversation, sharing what's changing, what's next, and how AI is being applied to make operations safer, faster, and more resilient. Today, I'm joined by Steve, the Senior Vice President of the Asset and Service Group in IFS R&D. Steve leads the product teams behind our asset and service solutions, helping organizations plan investments, manage complex assets, and deliver great service across the full life cycle. Welcome to Voices of Industry, Steve.
Hi, Sajani. Lovely to be here.
Steve, when people meet you now, they see you leading a global product team. If you think back to the very start of your career, what was the job you were doing then, and what did it teach you about how work really gets done now?
I started off really in the telco space, building mobile phone networks in Africa, right the way across the continent. And most important really was that, complex supply chains are, really, really important, and the delivery of the data associated with an asset once it's installed is critical to its longevity and its health.
In those early years of asset-intensive businesses, what do you remember most about the pressures on the teams and how these systems helped them or maybe even got in the way?
The biggest pressures really were all around kind of logistics and delays getting materials into port and assets into port. But then from the team's perspective, really, there's a huge amount of pressure to deliver on time and shorten the cycle time between construction and on air. And that needs to be managed really, really carefully.
And of course, looking back, these businesses look a lot like our customers today. So what did sitting in their shoes teach you about what asset and service teams really need from technology and from a partner like IFS?
For me, when you're building a new asset, it was more on the construction end where I was, making sure that the through-life data starts at inception is really, really important. Getting a proper view of what's been done and what's been installed on that site is invaluable to the teams that have to look after it throughout its life.
Yeah, of course. And as someone who used to work in your service and asset group previously, I have seen firsthand how hands-on you are as a leader. So how does staying that close to the teams and the technology help keep your solutions grounded in real industry challenges?
I mean, all I ever do when I spend time with the teams that are developing our products and bringing those products to market is convey the voice of the customer. So it's only ever a reflection of the amount of time I spend with customers and with the industry trying to understand where they are now, but most importantly, where they're going next, not just in the next 2-3 months, but also in the next, 12, 18, 24 months.
And building on that, Steve, I think it's very important that we talk about industrial AI, right? Industrial AI is becoming a major topic in this space, but it can also sound quite abstract to some people. So when you talk to leaders in industries similar to the ones that you worked in early in your career, how do you explain industrial AI in a way that connects to their day-to-day reality?
Look, for me, industrial AI is there as probably the biggest enabler for our customers to remove the things that cause drag on their business, right? And now that drag can be both a cost drag, it can be a time drag, it could be a revenue drag or a profitability drag. And the big reality is that if you can turn around and say, with AI, I can increase your first-time fix rate by 25% because we can figure more stuff out by having a much broader view of the history, that's going to remove a huge drag on an organization, right? It's going to increase technician utilization. It's going to increase profitability. It's going to reduce cost. It's going to increase customer service. And so you can take, whenever I speak to any customer, I say, go through your business process, go look at your business from end to end, find the things that are causing you drag, and let's try and partner to see where AI can remove that drag for you.
And finally, Steve, looking a few years ahead, how would you like customers to describe the difference that our asset and service applications, as well as the industrial AI within them, have made to how they run their operations?
If I was a service-centric customer, I would love one of those customers to turn around to me and say, hey, you have increased customer satisfaction by X. You have increased our profitability by Y, whatever those appropriate metrics are in those organizations. On the asset intensive side, for me, it all comes down to you've increased our uptime, you have improved safety. Right, safety is a huge issue for a lot of our asset intensive customers, and I would love a customer to be able to turn around and say, it has now been well over a year before we've had a safety critical incident on our site, and your software is the thing that has helped make sure that happened.
Thank you for joining Voices of Industry, Steve.
An absolute pleasure, Sajani. Thank you for having me.